Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of your favorite podcast, guys. And in today's episode, I am going to tell you about a big misconception that most people have, and it's actually preventing them from being successful and being successful in the long run and replicate success. Okay. And this is going to be a very, very important episode for you because chances are that you're making this mistake. Okay. So how did that start? So it started when I saw this video on Instagram from, I think it's Ed Sheeran. I think that's the singer, right? The redhead guy. And he said that he was sick and tired of people not appreciating the fact that you learn from your mistakes. So the reason why you can get somewhere is because you made mistakes and then you learn from those mistakes, and that the mistakes is where you actually learn what works. Okay. And so it was kind of like a rant and stuff. And I agree with him to a certain degree, because I think there's something huge that he's missing and something huge that you are probably missing as well. Okay. So we're going to cover that, a little bit later in the episode, but first, I want to discuss what I think he got wrong. He got right, but because there's one thing he got wrong, and that's a very, very big problem. But what he got right is it is absolutely true. So a lot of people are afraid to go out and make mistakes. So try stuff because, well, it might fail. Yes, it might fail. There are more chances of that failing than actually succeeding. This is how it works. Okay. And very often we're afraid of failing. Why are you afraid of failing? Right? I'm going to ask you a question here. So let's imagine I put you in an empty room where separated from everything, and there's absolutely nobody there, and I ask you to try something, to perform a challenge. Do you think you will decide like, oh no, I don't want to try because maybe I'll fail? Probably not. All right. You will go out and try. Right. Now, the fear of failing, it doesn't actually, you're not afraid of failing per se. You're afraid of failing in front of other people. Right. You're afraid of, what do I look like? I look bad. This is what people are afraid of. If, for example, let's say you want to start this business, okay? And you start the business, you don't tell a soul, you don't tell anybody, all right? The business failed. You are actually going to go out and do it because there's nobody there to tell you, oh, I told you so, and blah, blah, blah. And we have this, I don't know, maybe that's how we're wired, right? But we don't want to lose face, okay? And so the fear of failing is usually, unless you're trying something completely reckless, which is like jumping from a cliff or something, and that will result in you dying, right? But there are a lot of things where, the stakes are not that high, and the stakes are for you, it's like your reputation and saving your face, okay? And so that is one of the things, understanding where the fear of failing comes from. It doesn't come from within. It's more, what do I look like? Especially if you are one of those people who needs the validation from other people, who have like an external locus of control, right? You care deeply about what people think. All right. So if that's your case, well, what I can say is, start something. Don't tell a soul. Just do it. Right. And you'll see you won't have any problem going at it, because you might think that, it will fail or something. Just go for it. Okay. So that's one thing. The second thing is, failing today is, how can I say, it's a lot more affordable. It's less expensive than it was back in the days. Back in the days, and it's not necessarily true. I'm pretty sure that back in the days you could do that, but here, today is easier. It's always going to be easier than before, right? People say, there has never been a time where it was easier to do blah, blah, blah. Yes, of course. Yesterday was the same thing. Okay. But anyway, back in the days, you wanted to start a business, you had to go to the bank, you had to borrow money, you had to open a factory, you had to hire a whole bunch of people, and you had to do a lot of PR and advertising and stuff. It was super expensive. Okay. And so failure, yes, it could hit you really hard. here in this case, the stakes are really not. You can start a business with a simple like Instagram account or a simple like email tool for free. Okay, and this is what I teach people in my mastermind. I get them to understand that today you don't need to be a multinational to go out and build a business that works. You can start super easily, super fast, and I give them the tools actually to go out and do it. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing that you have to understand is failing is not expensive today, so you might as well go and try. And one other thing that we'll say is failing per se. I remember hearing an interview of Kobe Bryant said he doesn't believe in failure. So failure is, I'll say, when you're doing troubleshooting, right, you're trying to understand what is the nature of the problem, and you have a whole bunch of suspects, okay? And what you need to do is to eliminate one suspect after the other, right? And that is exactly what you do for success as well. You just found one way that, that doesn't work yet, okay? This thing works, okay? But today you don't have and if you come back later, even if you reuse the same kind of path with more information, you might be able to make it work. So you have to see it as, I haven't found the way to success yet, okay? It doesn't mean this thing doesn't work. Oh no, this doesn't work. Dropshipping doesn't work. Some people make money with dropshipping, right? And so they found a way. It's just that because our ego gets bruised a lot when things don't work our way, then we forget this process of elimination of, let me try this and then this and this. And so you want to persevere long enough as well, so that you have explored everything before you move to something else, because otherwise, you won't get anywhere, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's kind of like, failure. What it is you gather a lot of information. This is where I agree with him, is when you fail, you can pretty much figure out what went wrong, and then you can correct it if you do it well. So if you document it, or if you take the time to look back and do an introspection and forget your ego, okay? Because there are people basically whose ego will tell them that it's always someone else's fault. It's not something they did. It's not, oh no, it's someone else, right? So these people, they will never get anywhere. So to learn from your failures, you have to look back and forget your ego and just look at the process and see, okay, what went wrong? What can I do better and stuff? And this is indeed how at some point you'll make it all the way to the top, because the people at the top are the people who did this. They did this process of elimination. They did fail, in most cases more than you and faster than you, okay? So this is where I agree with him. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I do not agree with him. And I think he's forgetting something. Sorry, Ed Sheeran. Probably you're watching this podcast, because everybody is watching this podcast, but you forgot something. Here's the thing. I was talking to you about ego, okay? And ego is a big problem, because here's the thing. Let me explain something to you. And, I'm guilty of that as well. Most of the time, I actually have to remind myself of this. So when something doesn't work, okay, what usually happens is we blame everything around us. Well, it's this, it's the economy, is the blah, 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 everything but us, okay? We should look at the process of what went wrong, okay? And people say, yeah, you only learn through failure and stuff. Well, here's the problem. The problem is, when everything goes right, what do you usually praise? Yourself. You praise yourself. Of course it's you. You're awesome, right? So yeah, well, it worked. It's me. Well, it's not. It's the process, all right? And that's the problem that a lot of people have. You learn as much in like defeat or failure or something than in success. But the thing is, people do not take the time to look at what happened during success, because guess what? The easy answer is, it's me, I'm awesome. And it's not the case, my friend. And that's the reason why some people are not able to replicate the success that they've had, because they never took the time to analyze what worked, was the process. There's something that you did. It's not you. I'm sorry. It's not you. There is something that you did. But the second it works, you forget this. It's like, well, it's me. Look at me, right? Because of that ego. So you have to put your ego aside. But when people tell me, oh, you learn more in failure than in... No, you don't. You do not. You learn just as much when it works, because you will figure out, oh, okay, I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this, blah, blah, blah. It's not necessarily just you. The process works, all right? So take the time. In both cases, it doesn't work or it works. You need to look at the process. The process is important. It's not you, and it's not other people, because it's so easy. I'm pretty sure you know a lot of people like this. Well, something goes wrong. Oh, yeah, it's my cousin, blah, blah, blah. In sports, oh, I was tired, and then the crowd was doing this, and then it started raining, and I was like, well, it wasn't raining for everybody. Was it just raining for you? Yeah, but then it was windy. It was windy for everybody, and some people make it, you know what I mean? And so that is the reflex that we have. And, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've never done that. I have, blaming stuff. Oh, yeah, well, it's because of this, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. Okay. And so there are circumstances, obviously, okay? So I'm not saying that everything is like steady and everything. There are circumstances, but the second something doesn't go our way, we are tempted to blame the circumstance, because guess what? We want to look good, all right? And when it works, then who needs to shine? It's us, okay? So that is, when I saw this video from Ed Sheeran, this is what came to me, because I had the discussion with a whole bunch of people. And these are things that also in my community, I will stress, and I will make sure that people do those things. Because again, let's imagine you do something awesome. You start this business, the business works, okay? You have no idea what you did. None. You just know you're good. And then tomorrow you try something in like another version of that in a different market, and it tanks, bombs, bam. And then now you're depressed. You're like, oh my God, what happened? Well, maybe those people are idiot, or maybe the market is blah, blah, blah. No, it's not this. It's just that you don't know what is the process that you applied last time. A process is replicable, right? And once you analyze it, then you can get the results that you want, okay? So I have, basically, I've done this many times over. And basically, based on what worked, I have created tools that do what works. Okay, that's the job that I've done, because I'm just like anybody. I have an ego, and I will tend to forget those things. So before I forget, I create the tool that does what works. I did analyze what worked, I put it together, and then I create those tools, and then I make these tools available for people in my mastermind. Okay, so I'm not looking at vanity metrics and blah blah blah. I'm really looking at, okay, out of these 10 tasks, okay, that worked. And then I get a developer to code it, and then we put in the tool, and that tool is going to replicate that for me. This is how I'm able to build many successful businesses, one after the other, is because I've done this work, okay? And so all these tools, I basically give them to my mastermind members. And, if you guys are interested in checking it out, I will leave a link here so you can see what's in the mastermind, because it's pretty awesome. So in the mastermind, I'll tell you like 3 things. There are 3 pillars. First, you have consulting with me. So basically you have me as your advisor, like all the time, we speak all the time, and then I can help you navigate, and I build a specific curriculum for you, okay? Then second thing, once we've done that, we know where you are, where you're going, then I give you these tools that I told you, which are the results of my analysis, and then now we automate a machine, okay? And now the third part, which you're gonna love, is once the machine is built, guess what? I send you the traffic. I take care of your traffic. So basically, we send traffic to a machine that's designed to run on automation and go towards where you want to go, and then it just runs, okay? So if you're interested in checking it out, there'll be a link right under this video. I will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.